Hey guys, we've noticed that a lot of turtles like to cross this particular road, most likely because there's a pond over on that side as well as one over there, so they're probably just kind of traveling from pond to pond, or they're coming out to lay their eggs. But I figured I would use this opportunity to show you how to properly help a turtle cross the road. Here we have an adult western painted turtle, and she is a female by the looks of it. You can tell she's a girl because these front claws are like little bear claws. If she was a male, the claws would go out about that much further because the males will use those claws to show off in front of the ladies. Now, the first thing you want to do is check and see which direction the turtle is headed. She was going this way, but she was on a mission, so I had to pick her up for the sake of this video. But then you want to pick up that turtle by its shell, never by its tail, because that will pull apart or dislocate the bones or vertebrae inside of their tail. So pick them up by their shell and move them across in the same direction they're already going. So we're going to pick her up and move her across. Now, if you were to take this turtle and turn it around and put it back where it came from, it would just turn around again and cross the road again because they really want to go in that direction. They are determined, so that's why you always want to make sure you know which way they want to go before you move them. And then you just simply leave them in the grass on the other side of the road, and they'll take off from there.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Now, if it's a snapping turtle, like this one right here, up where we're from, the common snapping turtle is very common, lives up to its name. They have that very long neck, so of course you don't want to grab them by the sides of their shell because they may come around and they could possibly snap you. They do have a very strong jaw at the end, or very strong beak at the end of their jaw. So instead of grabbing them around their shell, it's best to just take their back legs like this. And if it's a pretty big snapping turtle, you can actually pick them up by their back legs. The legs are much stronger than their tail, so this is perfectly safe for the turtle. And you can simply carry them across the road again in that same direction. Alternatively, you can grab a snapping turtle by the back of its shell. There's a nice little handle here right above their back leg that you can just hold on to. Use your other hand to support their plastron from underneath, and you can move them across that way. And again, you just want to let them go right in the grass on the other side, and they will continue on their journey. A couple things to keep in mind when you're helping out those turtles is to first, do not take that turtle and put it in your car and drive it to another body of water, because as you let it go into that pond or stream or whatever, they'll swim away from you to get away from you, but then they will soon realize this isn't where I wanted to go when I was crossing the road, so they will soon exit that water and then travel for days trying to figure out where they are, and that usually means they have to cross more roads anyway. And you do not want to take that turtle and keep it in your house as a pet. I've heard many stories of people who claim they saved that little baby turtle from crossing the road by bringing it into their house and taking care of it themselves. But it's best to leave them in the wild. If you see one crossing the road, just help it cross the road. They more often than not have parasites anyway, and it costs hundreds of dollars to properly set up a turtle enclosure. And they get big. I mean, painted turtles, as you saw, get a decent size. They need a huge tank, they live a long time, and most people will have a pet turtle for, say, 2-3 years, and then they get bored of it. And there are hundreds of turtles in rescues that cannot find homes because there's just so many and there's not enough demand for people who want a pet turtle. Or even worse, people will take that turtle that's been in captivity for a while and let it go in the wild again where it may not be able to survive. So if you want a pet turtle, I recommend finding a really good breeder, or even better, find your local herpetological society or reptile rescue and you can adopt one and give it a second chance at life there. So hopefully these tips help you when you see a turtle crossing the road next, and we'll see you next time.